2026 with a bang. But today it is time to see how much damage the Ascension team that Ascended can do. I am your hosting, so I'm joined once again by Kakuka and Lou. Are we ready for more Turkish powerhouse? Because clearly we didn't get to see enough of that yesterday.
I mean, we didn't see enough. As you say, the teams that Ascended left us with a little bit of, we wanted some more, right? Because it was not like a clear final. There was not just one winner. And also feel like in the past years, the teams that have Ascended have not done so well, and the narratives are
exactly. And I think I also like the storyline of facing the team that qualified your organization into VCT. So there is kind of at the same time a venture and at the same time a thank you feeling that I'm pretty curious to see. I've seen the Pacific players confident, but at the same time paying respect to their opponents. So
I saw some people disrespect our region.
That wouldn't be the first time.
Not worth knowing, like Shang, Storm, all these dummies. Disrespecting our region, but I don't think they've quite understood the powerhouse yet. So I'm looking forward to showing them that a little bit later. But first, of course, we saw a pretty good Na'Vi, and for me, a very impressive Gentlemates. Who would have thought they would win their opening game?
I mean, of course you do.
The non-biased French caster, yes. But
listen, to me, the KC, watch out. Let's not repeat what we have throughout the most of the past year. They still have chances. What we love about this kickoff this year is you have 3 chances. It's not just a couple and you're out. So still, have a couple of weeks to show us what they got. But I do agree. It was a surprise to see how good this Gentlemates roster looks, how they brought in new ideas, they were playing them out with some new juicy compositions, and it was lovely to see some of those faces back on the stage.
Yeah, Maripo?
Like Maripo? But I'm just buying it. Martin and Bipo at the same time, I feel like they do have a pretty good connection both inside and outside of the server from what I was able to understand. And I think we also had an outstanding performance from Stark on the last map yesterday. So I think it's also important to have a team in which your IGL can also put up the numbers. And I think as a whole, Gentleman looks really, really confident. The only question I'm wondering is, can they do that against better teams? And we're going to have the answer in a few days.
Oh, they can. But we did also see Skirmish, the first day that it came into action in EMEA. Of course, now coin tossers are out. The teams are deciding side selection with Skirmish. And I can now reveal for our first match of the day, it's going to be LaRock versus Ninja. Now, LaRock is not much of a surprise, but are you surprised that Pacific are sending Ninja?
Sined? Why didn't we send Sined?
I would have sent 7. We have to ask them about the process, because we know that some teams are going to have different approaches, and that is good. Just like the meta compositions and whatnot, this skirmish is still new for everybody. So maybe you don't want to stress your players, maybe you run a little bit of King of the Hill, or maybe somebody really wants to do it.
I just want to say that I walked past Loiter briefly, and I was like, why didn't you go? And he's like, nah, I'm not like that bothered about it. I think LaRock was the right choice. But this is the problem with this team, right? They're so good and so talented that they could have sent anyone. I would have been like, I understand, fair enough. I don't even need to process.
I think that there's going to come to a point if they start sending the players that imagine that they have a team that is like fully on the win streak, like 3 or 4 players have won, and you're the last one, and you're like, oh my god, I really have to close this one out.
Yeah, maybe the coach at that point. But we should talk about, I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible. So when you hear us say BBL, we mean the Pacific roster that Ascended, because as you guys know, BBL, they kind of, they yoinked them. So yeah, I just wanted to get that clarification on the way, because it's confusing. I think we can admit that.
Yeah, because we are speaking about Pacific, which is technically who Ascended, but the Pacific players are on BBL. So no more Magnum, no more Yampi, no more all that we had last year, which was, by the way, the best year for BBL is now different. But it's so good to see that, as you see, they moved in as 5. Yes, throughout the year, Comeback was out and Lovers Rock came into the roster, but it's so good to see that we have an EMEA, a full roster that Ascended and stick together.
Yeah, and I also think that for the Turkish community, it makes sense, that for BBL to go back to like a full Turkish roster. So it does make sense, but it's a little bit confusing because BBL 2025, BBL 2026, Pacific, mixed logos together. I must say I was a little bit confused though. Thank you for helping me.
I think we're going to continue to be confused for at least maybe a little bit longer. But the good news is it is just very old school. It's BBL versus Pacific. Let's not live in the past, you know. They ascended for a reason. They ascended to compete with the best. And we want to know if they can beat the best. I'm glad you mentioned Lava's Rock, though, because for the unknowers, is he good enough? Is he just as good as Comeback?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, of course, it must have been hard for them to in the middle of the year. We kind of understand that if you get an offer like that, everybody wants to ascend onto the tier 1 and as soon as possible. Sometimes that story is not fully Cinderella if we all go together, because that's not the way dreams work. But in esports, it happens sometimes. But it's good to see that maybe that was a point of realization for them to be like, okay, if we win all of this, we have to stay together. And probably one of the reasons why we saw them sticking to the plan, stick to their guns. Lava's Rock comes in. I think he filled in the shins very, very well. And I think that when we speak about the best Turkish players that we have, I know that we have some very well-established names. But if for any reason you watch it at home, missed out on Ascension, you are in for a treat. Because I can guarantee you, most of these players had huge offers from very well-known teams.
All I'm going to say is this team is
I mean, you're already, you know,
who doesn't? My quick question to you, Lou, is do you think it was the right choice for them to stick together?
I think it was to stick together for sure. And I think that with Comeback's departure and arrival in VCT and the fact that Gentlemates didn't do that good, even though it was a good addition, maybe, you know, the players thought about it twice, you know, about is it better to like win it all together with your friends, with your like teammates that you considered as brothers, or, you know, take the long shots, give it a gamble and just join like a new team and not be sure whether, you know, there's going to be the synergy, the connection, the friendships. So I think that's a beautiful story that is being told by the BBL players.
It is, but there's an equally beautiful story on the other side, because the 5 players getting picked up by Pacific, I'm just going to let you go, you know, rattle them off, because Kakuka, I think in particularly one community needs to know about the arrival of 7 into VCT.
I was very excited because I know that we get players from everywhere, but as you can see, of course, the 5 players are going to be new in. To me, also, look at the coaches, because Think was on that BBL last year. Now he's going to be on the other side. But as you're saying, the players, very, very important. So you have seen it. So if you talk about, we're talking about the new faces, but if you talk about old legends,
the blue is so weird.
Yeah, well, it should had a blue. Well, not the point, but as I was saying, seen it an absolute legend of Turkish Valorant. Cupid and Ninja coming in together for this year. Alorante also joining in for Focus. But as you were saying, to me, there is a player that stands out even more than Zenit, and we love Zenit here. And it's 7. He has been playing the game for a very, very long time, and that is surprising to me to say because he's only 20 years old. He was picked up by 100 Thieves when he was 15 years old. Do you remember what you were doing when you were 15?
Yes, but that's a chat for another day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about that either. But the thing is that he's been grinding the game, absolutely. He's been working with a lot of big names, also being in T1. And last year, he was competing in TSM, in NA, made it to that Ascension final and almost made it. And probably, in my eyes, one of the reasons why they didn't win that is because most of the players from that TSM, even MBS, already had offers from Tier 1. So they knew that they were going to make it. I had a chance of speaking with him. And yes, I am excited, not only because he was a cracked chamber back in the days, but also because he speaks Spanish. And I needed someone that spoke my language. I need someone to talk to.
Do you know what?
Besides our producer.
I don't understand how NA has done this again. Like, when they gave us Crashies, they're like, you can have him, you know, it's the dregs, whatever. Look what happened. And I fully expect the same thing.
They gave us narrates too at some point, you know.
And Casey narrates so much better.
Please don't narrate what they didn't see. That is what happened. That is what happened. And let me tell you something. Next year, if 7 goes back to NA, it will be the same story twice. And I don't call that a coincidence anymore.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is when are they going to learn? When are they going to learn? What I would like to learn more about, of course, is CNED and Ninja as well. Lou, you had a chat with them earlier, so you guys at home, take a look at this.
Thank you, Yinsu. Pacific opened their doors to 5 talented players for this 2026 season, and I think they made a pretty good choice because I am joined by Sined and Ninja. Thank you first for joining me, boys. Good to see you in VCT, Ninja, and we're going to get to this. My first question goes to you, Sined. You're playing with players who never played a game on this VCT stage while being the 2021 VCT champion. So I want to know, how it has been for you these past weeks. Like, do you manage on focusing on your individual, or are you also trying to babysit maybe a little bit the boys? Tell us about it.
It's good to play with the fresh, fresh blood. So I'm enjoying my time. They are respecting me, they are respecting my experience, and I try to also help them. But they are all talented players, I'm just sharing my experience and we are combining it basically. Yeah,
you don't have too much of a burden on your shoulders, right? They're helping you in the work. Ninja, your path is a little bit different. You started your pro career with Chippy Chiapas, I think a year and a half ago in East Challengers. Then you had Liquid Academy, and now you're in VCT. So it feels a bit like a speed run from you. So I want to know, what are your expectations? How has it been so far in Berlin? What do you have your eyes on, basically?
It was a very quick run, honestly. It was actually 1 year from tier 2 to tier 1. Yeah. So far in Berlin was very good. I like my team a lot. They're all funny guys. We have a lot of fun. We're going out. Scrims are going good. For me, the expectations, I would just like to show my best and show people that I can play. Yeah,
both as a team and individually, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we wish you for this game, to be honest, even though you guys are going to be facing the team that qualified your organization in the league. So maybe I'll go back to you, Ninja. What do we think about these boys? Who do you want to diff? Do you think it's going to be a tough match?
For sure it's going to be a hard match. They're all very talented. The one of their players, they're duelist. I played with them in Chippy Chiapas. Yeah, so it's now we're meeting against each other. And I hope it will be a good match that hopefully we're going to win.
I'm sure it's going to be a very nice match. And my last question goes to you. Sined, the last time you played VCT with an international team was in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, with Navi. Then you always went with Turkish boys. Now back on an international team, I want to know how much you missed speaking English. What's different with international teams, basically?
I mean, in the first, communication was hard for me to get used to it because I was speaking Turkish in 2 years in a row with the Turkish team. Now, I'm trying to improve myself in communication-wise and in game. Try to also help my team. Right now it's going good. I think I'm getting used to it and it will be better.
Yeah, we're back to British Turkish, my dear Sined, and we wish you, of course, good luck. Thank you so much for joining me.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci. Thank you. Teşekkür ederim. And we're going to see if you manage to take the win in a few minutes. Back to the
organization is from India, but
you need to teach me how you do the Bowman TP thing.
player Indian है कौन से भी lineup में
That was a crazy
BGMI के lineup में था एक time पे
joke. Speaking of jokes,
अभी उन लोग ने शायद BGMI के lineup में ban पड़ गया
उनको. Who do you think is the funniest?
ऐसा कुछ तो है.
Who do you reckon?
I'm too biased to not
Probably
say
not
Sined.
Cupert.
I was just gonna say the same.
With all due respect.
No, we do this because we love him. We can say these things about Cooper because we love him. But I am very excited to see Cooper, finally on the stage. It's been a while.
Yeah. It's been a long while. There's a lot of experience both in the coaching booth, also in the game. So it's good to see that he has it all. Let's see if he has it for EMEA Tier 1.
Yeah. It would be such an underdog's run if Pacific manages to take down BBL. To be honest, I'm not much of a believer.
Hilarious.
But I think it would be so interesting to maybe it's not the same in the same way, but I think I would love to see something a little bit like mates, like bring something completely unexpected, get in their heads because they're the new kids in the block, and there's some names on the other side that I know they want to go up against.
I feel like it's like a rivalry that hasn't even happened, but it's already a rivalry.
Right. It's already there.
Yes. And I do think the expectations probably is in the favor of BBL, right? They have to win.
Yeah, exactly. They have to win. They have the pressure, but most of them are new kids on the block.
Yeah, but the last time they were on this stage, however, they did win. So it's time to see if they can take down Pacific and bring the players onto stage, everybody. Here's BBL versus Pacific Esports. Well, nothing says you're ready for a fight than bringing the trophy that you tend technically didn't win against the team that did. Love it. Great start. But what I also love is skirmish, of course, the new way to decide which team gets to pick in the map veto process. And I can now reveal to you guys exactly what happened earlier. As you remember, LaRock was representing BBL going up against Ninja on the other side, and it was 5-3 for LaRock.
Not a lot of surprises there. I think that we are favoring the Turkish aim overall in EMEA. We're not new. Ninja is, but you know, it was a challenge, and for now, predictions are going as planned.
No, but that's what it feels like to be Turkish in VCT EMEA. It's like you start the game with a free ult or like a Vandal in hand in pistol. Like it really seems like an insane buff to be Turkish. In VCT EMEA, first of all, but also in skirmish, and there is a reason why it rhymes with Turkish, I think.
We need more data on the skirmish. I think that by the end of the year, we're going to learn like if there's some cues, if there's like some tricks that you can do, or that the pros are going to be used, and if there's how much mental goes into it.
Yeah, and of course BBL, they got to choose, and they are gonna choose Breeze. I am so excited for Breeze and for BBL's chart down here, because it has been 216 days since we've had Breeze in EMEA. Do you remember?
Wait, I had 580.
Wait, what was it? Have I got my math wrong? It was Giant X, no?
It was Giant X on.
I mean, it feels like
versus no, it was. I think you
maybe
are
I
right.
got the math wrong.
You're right, because he was but he was against mates.
I'm excited.
It was
Either way, it was a long time ago.
A long time ago. The map
it was
changed.
definitely Giant X, is what I remember.
Yeah.
We have a lover boy on stage. We saw a little Lego piece of him and his girlfriend on his desk. So why aren't we bringing this to the stage tomorrow?
Do you want my actual answer to that question? I mean, we're gonna get to see Breeze, and then Pearl. Like, what is this? VCT America?
I was gonna say
we're in the wrong region.
These kids are making me feel old, but to me it was surprising. Now, outside of the jokes, the fact that BBL, it's so weird to not call the Pacific. I'll get used to it. We will all get used to it on its due time. But it's weird to see that they had not that ban that they had throughout the entirety of Ascension. They also had it in Blender, so I was kind of like expecting that. But they did ban it on the second wave, but still, leaving that open, maybe paying into things.
Yeah, I mean, they picked Abyss. I think Pacific picked Abyss right after. It makes sense. I think it's a map where you can cook things. We've seen Gentle Mace yesterday with, the Brim, Astra, post-plant composition. So I think that might be, the chance to Pacific to suppress and to surprise BBL, because I think that on Breeze there won't be much surprise. It's a map where skill matters the most. Maybe, I don't know if you disagree with me, ladies, but to show on Breeze.
Honestly, I know there's been changes, right? Let's talk about those changes. What's been your favorite change?
My favorite, the one up mid, because now it's harder to miss the smoke, and that means that Boca would have never missed his lineup. I'm sorry, Boca, I still think of you. I still think of his Icebox 1v4. Well, let's take a look and see what they're going to play, because it's our first Breeze of the year. You were right, by the way, it was 581 days. And LaRock is going to be playing Jet right off the bat. CNET on the way. CNET is what? Wasteslay? CNET's about to Wasteslay. I think that they have a dynamic on CNET and Seven that I want to see. Both of them being very able to play the operator. That, especially in a map like this, I know that there's been changes, but I think that CNET has always been an absolute beast in this map. And I think that he's going to repeat the same with that, and the double control and the Sova just prevail.
Yeah, I'm very surprised of the Omen pick from Q-Birds. I thought that Viper would everyone be on the same page, at least at the start, at the start of the meta, like Sova does. But I'm very curious to see what he brings with his Omen. Is he overcooking? We're gonna see.
I mean, we rarely see that, right? We see people, some play Neon, some play Jet, but the Viper pick, like you said, has always been a staple since the dawn of time on this section.
But I still remember when here specifically on Breeze, we saw teams being like Viper and Astra, and everyone was like, whoa, what are they doing? Like, why is this so innovative? So So I think I kind of like it. I think it gives a different twist. Just like, for example, on my like Icebox, I do know, and I do wonder because without some of those changes that have been made to Breeze, the verticality of the map, that double fight has been gone. So I think that could have a little bit more of an edge for Omen if that was still there. But I think that there's been cooking here, and the leader also has a lot of earnings. Learnings from this past
earnings.
Years.
Who knows? But yeah,
earnings as well. Earnings as well, but in YouTube hosting.
You're buying the Omen. I'm not. So we're gonna see who
I'm down for a surprise. I know that they've
I'm buying the double controller though.
Same.
I think Viper by itself on the other side of this is gonna struggle. So I really like the Astra. I wish it was Astra Viper.
Yeah,
I think that
Astra Viper is what
yeah.
we see the most. I mean, at least in GC, in my experience, that's what we see on every map.
Open mind. Yesterday made surprise with the Astra Brimstone on Abyss, and I kind of liked it, the way that they were playing around it and how they were showing both how to play on the defense and the attack. I want to give them a chance. I think they deserve it.
Yeah, and it's the first Breeze back as well, so who better to hop onto this map? Because I know it's Mitchman's favorite. So over to you, Mitchman and Tombiz. You got what you wanted.
Oh yeah, Sue, you really read my Christmas wish list here. A little bit of Breeze, Tom. It's been gone for a long time. Good times, but now it's back, and it's changed a little bit. And I think those changes will actually lead to a more enjoyable map to watch and to play. We'll see if that's the case down on the stage. His specific take on BBL, and already, Tom, what a crazy setup we've had.
Yeah, I think like we can look at some of the changes that have come through on the map. A lot of it comes down to sort of making it easier to isolate a lot of angles, having a lot more positions that you can hold on. And I do think that's why with the composition we had coming in, it makes a lot more sense, because having a double controller, the Viper before was necessary because otherwise you walk into no man's land. Instead, then you section it off with the screen. Now you can use isolated smoke. So having two lots of smokers means you can just place down those certain angles you want cleared, and inevitably it will give you the angles you want to fight. So I do like the idea coming in from Pacific. On the other side, I do feel like I'm almost looking at an old school comp on this map.
Yes.
Maybe not so much the Yoru, as it wasn't quite popularized at that time as much as it is now. But I do think that they're going to go for more of the Angels, and Pacific, I'll be real, I think have built a better comp.
I agree, right? We have those two different perspectives, but coming into today, I think if you were to run these teams over in your head, what you're thinking about is BBL being that team that can win in terms of aim fights, in terms of those duels.
Yeah.
And for Pacific, you want them to be that team that's bringing it on a more cerebral level, that's able to avoid those more heads-up angles and set themselves up for success. In terms of the comps that are off the table, it looks like both teams are very much playing to their strengths, which is good to see. Down on that stage as well, something we talked about yesterday was sort of that of old and new, and I think both of these teams kind of have that in the age game. But when it comes to Pacific as well, you have some crazy experienced players, man like CNET down there on the stage. You've got Cooper who's been grinding out as an IGL, being tested for the first time, well, his biggest test at this level.
The funny thing is that you say like, oh, experienced players, but to this stage, there are 9 rookies entering this game.
Yeah.
And CNET.
To this stage,
it is kind of mad. Like, obviously we've seen them play like Ascension, or I think in Cupid's position, he's actually played on some decent teams, been a coach and an analyst on many others. So he's probably the most experienced within the server. Then you got the BBL roster that has been in the Ascension final twice, and even if they'd won it the first time, half their team couldn't have played anyway. They kind of won it at the best time in a way, where you're allowed to have Lorok, you're allowed to have Loiter. So I think that this is going to be a cool matchup. Being real, I'm heavily favoring BBL. Like, there's a squad that's been together a long time. I don't even think anybody called them tier 2.
Yeah.
Like last year, the year before, people were like, okay, this is a tier 1 team that's in tier 2. Then they ran it again, and everybody was like, well, if you need a scrim partner, you play them, because you'll find your weaknesses. You'll find them very, very fast. And then the squad on the other side is kind of like, it's a mixture of CNET, a champs winner, who's kind of been on the way back last year, playing smokes with Foot. And then a lot of players from the tier 2 that you go, okay, they were kind of on the brink
PCF
of maybe making it to other teams, didn't quite do it, and now they're in this Pacific.
PCF or BBL लगाना जरूरी है.
You're looking for an IGL. You've got Cupid and Alorante as well. I know had trials for a lot of different teams at this level, and he's ended up on that stage, maybe where he belongs. We'll see. It's been a long grind, and for some of these players, a chance to prove themselves. 7, who we haven't touched base on, was chatting to the Spanish streamer and caster Ulysses. He told me that 7's going to be the biggest surprise of the year for me. So I'm very excited to see what he can deliver as a man who's delivered on many different roles in the past. BBL leveling it up here and moving towards this B side. Alorante and 7 with a lot of pressure on their shoulders.
And this is where we'll almost get to test the individual brilliance of some of the players on the other side. An opportunity for Alorante, but can only get the one. Already a 3 versus 2, and the thing I'm worried about in this series for Pacific is if BBL get going, the steamroll can begin.
जिसमें 4 सेकंड का और रिवर का सारा स्किन अनलॉक दे रहा है,
and they do have themselves a
सब
chance.
कुछ अनलॉक ऐसा.
An opportunity. Gonna flush out those players though. BBL looking
ऐसा
to
वो
swing
बोला,
together.
पता नहीं अब.
It's going to be Lloyd at point of contact on back pillar.
अभी तू ऐसे बोला.
How about inside? He's isolated in the fight though. When it comes down to the one-on-one. Oh, the flick is sublime.
तो ऐसा
It will be the round
का जो
going to
दोस्त है ना,
BBL.
वो रियॉट के लिए कुछ तो करता है. I think क्या फिर जीता है कुछ तो.
1-0 start nonetheless. It's hard to sort of come in here with any understanding of what that means, you know, in terms of like, is this comp going to be... Okay, first of all, he's going to be attacker-defender side in general. And then with these comps in play, I can see strengths and weaknesses for them both. A lot of unanswered questions in the first few rounds, but I'm excited to find out how it's going to play out.
I would look at BBL and go, these feel like comfort choices. Like, I would happily see Kreven play a Sentinel every single map, but Sentinels have kind of taken a hit. Like, that's been one of the major changes coming in, is that a lot of that utility takes a long time to refresh, and can be a lot easier. Even if you get caught, so a lot of people have opted to shift away, and that's like a double controller makes a lot of sense in this meta.
और क्या बोलता है पता है, मेरा जूनियर है.
For someone like Kreven, I think
मैं उसका मैनेजर हूँ.
Because he's fantastic individually. For Pacific,
अभी से अपने साथ
I
भी
feel like
खेलेगा
the
ऐसा उसने
composition they're
बताया.
running could end up as a meta-esque comp,
बोलता है उसको
but
टाइम
we're
नहीं है इसलिए
the
अभी नहीं
jury's
खेल
still
रहा
out
हूँ.
of that one as of just yet.
Yeah, there's a lot more data to be mulled over before we get to that stage.
ये पिया हुआ था तब की बात है यार.
For Lover's Rock, a little bit risky, but he's got players in the back turn. After one, get a little bit more difficult. Potentially look to isolate him, but getting to him means crossing the whole rest of the squad.
बिना पिए हुए बोला है, तो झूठ क्यों बोलेगा?
Wonderfully to start. The name of the game here is surviving with all of their players, right? They've made a lot of investments. You lose Lover's Rock, it's not the end of the world, but from then on, the losses really start to add up. There's the first pick already for Pacific.
क्या रह भी सकता है पता नहीं.
It's a little bit of extra damage, but more importantly for 7, it's an opportunity to get ultimate orbs, which we already know how impactful that your ult can be, especially even though like, I feel like a lot of the rotations have become a little bit easier on this map, with mid being more of an option without just having to face an operator every single time. It's still one of those things where on this map, the rotation to the A site, to the B site takes quite a while. You need that info early, and that ultimate could be very high impact if you can get it on early. The problem, though, is the same can be said on the other side. Lover's Rock is someone who is going to be looking to build up as many orbs as humanly possible. And I'll be honest, I still feel like there's been a lot of talk about eventually Lorok and Loiter in this team. I think Lover's Rock is pretty underrated. And his Ascension final performance, dude was insane, and he was playing with an injured finger the entire time. Yeah. And it was his click finger.
I remember you describing the severity of that injury, and I really wish you didn't.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that on broadcast.
Please don't.
It's not safe for work, I don't think.
No one wants to hear that. Nice shot! Lorok's just running it down. Out on mid. This is a round where they should be coming in with weaknesses, but the advantage already sits with the attackers. An early play by 7, though, to close in that distance on mids, putting the pressure on. It's forcing Lorok to, well, I would have thought go to side. He just tucks in. He's holding that door angle and not being forced out into the majority of players. And he's going to be really hard to root from that position. A thorn in the side of Pacific's retake.
Yeah, they have to get him out of here. They can't just allow him to stick in the backline. It also stops Alorante from being able to rotate. So they're having to send a lot of players just to try and clear him, and eventually they do. Cupid will be the one to find the frag, but there are still 4 more players on the other side sitting pretty. Kreven just stepping up with a double, and it's not getting any better. Alorante, the last standing, and the other 2, look how far away they are. There's a lineup surely flying in. Shot starts going. That may have even missed slightly, but it doesn't matter. Time was already gone. Alorante knew it, and that's BBL 3-0 up on the attack.
Now, very strong start indeed. Again, no telling how it'll change when we swap over, but honestly, looking at the current trajectory, I think we can say if BBL do push up to that 7-8 round mark, foundations are set. They're laid for them. I do think on the attack side, though, here, now I'm thinking about it more, maybe I even expect them to do better on the defense.
Oh, you're really selling the hope for Pacific here.
Yeah. So now I'm getting very worried, and I think they are too. We've already got a timeout called for Pacific down on that stage.
Yeah.
Again, you know, originally I was like, BBL, you know, 7 rounds will be fine. But I think if they come out with a middling half, they'll be able to put the pieces together on the attack side, and we don't on the defense, and we don't know for Pacific like how those smokes are going to work on this map. Seems like there's a lot of promise, but.
I want to add in as well, like maybe people didn't watch Ascension or maybe haven't seen much of this BBL roster before, but they are, and I mean this genuinely, maybe the worst opponent to play on day number 1 because I have never met people who are more confident in themselves as a squad. Bear in mind, like the likes of, we're pretty confident that Larocque and Loiter had offers from other teams, big teams within the region, and they said no to stick together as a group because they believe, probably from their scrim results versus tier 1 teams, that they are good enough to go to events. So coming into a match versus the org they left for their new one that has picked up other people to try and replace them, they are sat there going, oh, we're winning this game. From what we heard about the skirmish, that they were confident they'd beat anybody that was thrown in, and even surprised when CNET wasn't in. They're like, oh, okay, it'll be even easier than we thought. So you don't want to play this team because they are prepared, like Larocque did in the last round, to just run it down mid, insta-headshot you and go, right, now what you're going to do.
It is very early days, but you just think about that team from BBL who's already playing with so much confidence from the very get-go, and if they manage to have a dominant first map, their pick here on Breeze, it's going to be a real uphill battle. I think for a defensive side, that timeout won't have been to win this round. They're probably going to be battling back from 4-0 down.
Yeah, they also have to change nothing in terms of synergy. This is the same team they played last year with. So it's a complete opposite for Pacific, who everything is new.
I like what they're doing here as well. Even though they're up against the Ego, sending Kraven to the other side, seeing
they're in the stack.
If we push one side of the map, do they get aggressive? No. Okay. What are they doing? They're rotating past it. They're giving us space, so Kraven takes it. He's now walked out on the A site despite losing the initial fight on B. It dragged the rotates, it left it wide open. The question is, can Cooper get any around?
He's been baited by the clone.
Total pick किया, normal pick किया, दोनों में कुछ नहीं मिला.
There's a guy here. I heard him. He was stepping, and then he stopped. And that's what a real person would do.
अबे ये क्या है?
It's not real.
Add to Chrome, it's free. मेरे को नहीं चाहिए assistant. Fuck off.
Weapon can be retrieved.
Fast download मत कर, direct
the wall from the attackers even gets them in closer. Now there's a rifle on Cooper, one on Alorante, a chance to take these battles and close to even footing. Lloyd is looking the wrong way. The flash is good. Cupid spots some sprays, lines the kill. Down goes Kreven, and it's Rose. The shock dart. It gets him the first. The smoke about to fade. The shot needs to be clean, and it's right to the head. Cupid.
He's got all.
It's a body shot needed and found by Rose to close out the round. A Red Bull clutch keeps BBL with a flawless record on this map.
Yeah. It's always funny because you have someone like Rose where the sort of criticism of him is like, oh, he's
he can IGL real good, but yeah.
He's currently overboard 5-on-1, just clutching a 1v2 to start the game. There's so much depth within this roster.
प्रीमियम है इसलिए करना ही पड़ेगा.
There you go, 1v3. First one he didn't see, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, it's not a real kill.
But he is going to be the guy looking across the stage, standing up, like, no matter what. 4-0. This is where the rifles come back in. A decent amount of damage at least, but the economy's still good. That's a better start at least, but it's a quick pace take. And Hunter's Fury attempted to be used. He's gone quite aggressive though with this ult.
Oh, he's looking for it. That has the TP out of there. The problem is he's on the other side of the map. It's going to cost so much time bleeding from the clock. But Cupid has come up behind. He's threaded the needle. They thought it was clear because they pushed 7 back, but now they've got to deal with the leader. He's found himself 2, and that could give them the foothold. Another traded out as Rose is alone in the same spot as before. A 1v3, his first found, but the decoy absorbs the bullet. 7. But that kill puts the first round on the board for Pacific.
An important one of that. It definitely looked like they we're beginning to get into the stages of potentially being steamrolled just because that clutch and then the fast-paced take attempted once again. But they've been able to get a lot of space, sneaking their way through in. I like the fact that Pacific are definitely not shying away from a fight. I think that's where you would just say, okay, this is over. They're playing
install हुआ क्या मैंने बोला?
that's now, I think, a second time that Cupid managed to get out behind them.
कैसे हुआ? मेरे को दिखा जा रहा है एक बार.
मेरे में है डाउनलोडेड वो. Selling that ruse.
क्या माया?
And once he TPs away, they think, okay, we've dealt with the flank problem. But there's a second layer to it. Very nicely done.
कैसे? कहाँ से गया?
Much more
बताना
needed
जरा.
though.
Add to grow.
स्टोर से वो बोलते हैं वो इंस्टॉल
Not a
करना
blip on the
सीधा वो
radar
लोग जो बोलते हैं ना वही से
for
इंस्टॉल
BBL.
कर जाता
Will they be right back to winning ways? Of course, they've got the credits to
Add to
invest
Chrome, it's
here.
free. कर तो दिया भाई. और क्या?
तो अभी और एक बार वो ओपन होगा फाइल शेयर का वेबसाइट
Pacific
ओपन
don't
होगा
really
नया
have a lot to fight into that pit.
नहीं हुआ
And
कुछ.
especially with using the drone early on.
यहाँ पे जो जिक्सो वाला
Paranoia, yeah, you're really running out of options if BBL get boots on the ground.
Yeah, Viper's pit.
कहाँ पे दिख रहा है?
Scary.
क्या दिख रहा है? देखो.
ऊपर सर्च बार है वेबसाइट का
Aggressive
सर्च
position.
बार
That's a bit of a risk.
उसके बाद में
Captain.
जिक्सो का बहुत
Maybe just trying to take contact to give Seven that
Jigsaw.
little bit of extra space.
Copy.
They're getting aggressive. It's an opportunity for a miss shot. Seven though not missing. Continuing what has been a very strong start to this game and manages to escape. It will allow for a post plant, but look at two players. They're quite far away. It's very
देख रहा है क्या तू स्ट्रीम? दूसरे मॉनिटर पे चालू
will need
रखना.
to be bought by those players within the site.
एक मिनट रुक
What's Kraven going to do with this? Right now, he's waiting for that rotate from B. In a couple seconds, he'll realize it's not coming. And either goes to the door or plays that flank. And it will be towards the door. The position of the plant, though, is important to think about.
He just ran out onto the site and Viper's pit from far away.
Getting that defuse is difficult, but now getting into the pit and the defuse, this is going to be a real challenge for Pacific. Wrapping around, they've got players at every angle. Wide swing from Laurent. That's a little crazy. All they need to do is run that clock down. Kraven does well to find one, and it's Rose! 6 HP! He's made it around the corner! He's bought them time and time enough! Another clutch for the IGL on BBL! The man everybody doubts! His individual ability, but my God, he's got it in droves.
That's the thing, he was just warming up all of that time. What insane double array. The worst thing is Aaron runs into the pit, gets rid of it immediately, and it's almost like a sneaky reveal. It's like him coming out of the coffin, like the Undertaker, just like, you thought I was dead. It's insane. 5-1. 2 of those rounds have been clutched out by Rose, and oh, it was very nearly an attempt at a third, just a round to go. And that's done a lot of damage to the economy. Seven has definitely been a bright spark, though, and him having a rifle at least gives some hope that they could do some damage in this round.
It is wild that 50% of these rounds so far have been Rose clutches, and only one of them is an attempt. So, fair play. The guy is 9-3 at the moment. BBL sky high in terms of morale.
क्या ये add extension? अरे
Not
extension
only
में
is it
added है भाई.
important for BBL, for confidence, for Rose.
Premium downloads.
It was a big round for Pacific. Put the credits into it. We're left now with pistols.
अबे तू
We're
इधर
taken down
assist कर
easily by
पहले
a body shot
ये हो नहीं रहा.
from an
For some
outfall.
reason.
Alorante has a chance for a
ये
kill here, but Laurent's
मैंने
come to the
कहा था
rescue.
उसको add extension
We
में.
might actually get off without a hitch here for BBL. Nobody going down. A big money maker round on the cards. And Cupid's not got his hand on his mouth, but he is tucked in a corner, so it's okay.
I think they're using this as almost like a mini tactical pause.
Yep.
Like, I might as well just use the time that you've got. You're not winning this round, maybe you can get an exit or two, but if he has his ult, it really doesn't matter that much.
तो अभी ये आया इसमें सर्च करना इसमें माया
much
सर्च
damage
कर
to the
डाल
economy, in fact. They're just going to send out
रुक
players to try and build up some of
वो
those
ये
ults.
बंद करिए वेबसाइट
And
बंद
Cupid
कर
just isn't moving.
हाँ अभी रिलोड मार
It's fine if Jack gets this.
अभी तो चालू
The
किया
Blade
मैंने.
Storm, but
He
giving it
actually
inside
dance
the
around
Lovers
to give it.
Rock.
That's a good teammate. That is a good teammate.
क्या है यार तेरा
Oh, that's really nice, because obviously if he gets the kill,
मेरी गलती
he's
से.
already activated his
वो
Blade
premium
Storm, so
दिखा
give
रहा
it to a
actually
buddy
ये
instead. What a
Premium.
considerate
अरे
teammate.
प्रीमियम तो मेरे को भी दिखाया
Ends
है
on flawless as well. This is the thing. Like a lot of the rounds had at least close aspects, but BBL were always building up at economy. 6-1 into the lead, and then you get an
हाँ
end
ये
zone
क्या है मेरे को भी तो
flawless round,
ये बताया था
and they're having fun while they do it.
I don't think I've
to
seen
Chrome.
Rose laugh like that in a
They were
long
from
time.
Chrome.
He feels, it
मतलब
looks
वो
like
added
there's
है.
no pressure.
कंट्रोल
He is just having fun with his buddies down on that stage and 6-1 up. No surprise. We don't know how they'll deal with a loss. We haven't got to see it all too much so far. CNET doing well. Let's grab it down early on and another on that mid push. Spike down, as you said, in an unusual position, but that's actually the least of their problems. It's a 2v5 now. Pacific They found their mojo in this round. CNET certainly did with that aggressive off.
Yeah, it's kind of what you want to see from CNET and the operator. Like, you can take so much space off the back of the Waylay and just fall back with no real risk behind it, but thus far he's been caught. Kreven's definitely been having a bit of a rougher time. I think they've done very well at isolating that lurking Sentinel in the majority of rounds. It's just, unfortunately, it's been the main hit that they've struggled to deal with. And more importantly, Rose, and he is still alive, although this one should be impossible.
मेरा link open करना सीधा काय को झंझट
If we clutch this one up, I think he's going to be in the conversation for MVP of Kickoff already. Should be impossible.
Hey, Mr. Fallen got an ace. He's now
this
carrying.
post is private. You need Falsier assistant.
A new wave.
30
Turkish
seconds
IGL. Although hopefully for BBL they won't be getting the same result.
It very much is the age of the leader.
अभी इसके ऊपर दबा फाइल सीआर लॉन्चर पे ऐसा दबा
Not to say, you know, maybe it is his age. I don't know.
या फिर crxlauncher.com पे जा.
They have the leader.
वो यहाँ पे उसके नीचे.
They do. The
crxlauncher.com.
हाँ. Is no more. Been taken away. Lovers Rock. It's got to do so much work for there to have a chance, and with nothing there, I'm going to make a bold prediction that Rose hasn't got this. Nice shot to start. He's on the other side of the wall, but yeah, going back through there ain't going to be a walk in the park. Second found for Pacific. Good work. They got to climb right back into this, and the question that we don't know the answer to is 6 already enough for BBL?
ये देखिए ऊपर को आ रहा है कैटेगरी
It's difficult to say because they've obviously still got Viper, which has always been pretty good on the defensive side, and then this sort of double duelist with the potential for, well, especially Lovers Rock to play the operator, but LaRock is, LaRock isn't a slouch at anything.
अभी रुक शांति से रुक मैं बोल रहा हूँ उतना
up if necessary.
Allow permission कर.
I am going to be looking though, especially on the attack side, how they're setting up 7, because so far he has been excellent.
रुक हाँ बस अभी सर्च कर माया.
Years under his belt in Americas. That TSM roster last year. He led by MBS. It was a banger.
तू क्या किया पता है जो CRX launcher का जो वेबसाइट होता है ना खुला उसको ही बंद कर दिया.
A lot of eyes on him. Ninja's already down to start this one out. Alrante caught it. No man's land surrounded and dropped the 2 versus 3. Shot through the smoke. Brings him right back into it.
2025
and Cupid. The smoke fades. Those players have made it into safety.
November
This is
16
not going to be easy. We can see. Even if it gets it onto one player, which is a game of battleships at best. Still going to be another with gun up ready to fight. You've got post-plant Hunter's Fury to worry about. That's why Cupid goes around towards main. That cleared out. You know they're on site. They're not playing for the ults unless they're in the spawn. So he'll clear that angle out. But he's being caught. Did he get caught by his own ult? I'm pretty sure he did. Oh, CNET, you silly goose! Cupid's alone now, trying to clutch it out. He's found his first. But the creep around might just catch him. Big swing from Rose, and another round for the IGL of BBL.
Downgrade.
That could have been so much different, though. If I hope I'm wrong, but I really think he stepped into his ult. He's done a governor.
वो CRX launcher मेरे को
I also
डाला
don't
था
think
मेरे को डायरेक्ट ही चाहिए था.
the back corner. I don't think it goes far enough.
वो उसके बिना खोल ही नहीं रहा था.
I don't know if Rose was even caught by it. Maybe he dodged it, just that.
भाई ये क्या मार रहे हो ये
Oh no!
Yeah, like Rose is just shooting like normal. He's definitely not been slowed.
Yeah.
So he wasn't hit by the ult.
Yeah, I think he could sidestep it though. No, it was a little to the right. It covered like the whole back lane, but not, I guess, around the corner. Unlucky. Nice try, but the rounds keep adding up for that attack side. And hell, if 6 wasn't enough, maybe 7 is. Maybe 8 will be. Because it seems tough to stop them, and with the weaponry Pacific are bringing into play, I think an 8th round is on the cards. Now, first pick has gone their way. It's the only real weapon they have. The decisive lack of the bandit being brought through for Pacific. They're very much rather in the Sheriff, and with so many long-range angles, even that little 145, I understand why.
EMEA region में हर region का अलग sponsor रहता है.
It's a decent start to a round.
Pacific का कौन है क्या पता. और मेरे को ये समझ में नहीं आता Pacific नाम की टीम EMEA region में खेल रही है.
See some value.
Crazy है कुछ तो ये.
Of course, with the Cypher still alive, having someone lurking through mid would be a massive surprise. They do need to clear out CNET. That's exactly what they do. And while Ninja trying to trade with a classic, never really seemed like it was going to work out for 7. Well, Nothing's really gone well. It is clean as can be. Every fight going the way of BBL. Alorante, he's known for his headshot ability. Having a Guardian, but realistically, the post-plant clutches from Rose alone has been very good. And there's 3 other plants.
Genuinely, it seems to be an impossible task for the Hunter's Fury to fall back on. Even if he hits 3 crazy shots, this one should be going to Rose. His clutch percentage has been pretty solid. The question of damage doesn't even come into the conversation as LaRock quickly puts a pin in that round. 8-2 now for BBL. It is round after round success. An odd blip here or there, a flash in the pan from Pacific, but they are quickly by a long shot.
Quick push once again. 7 already forced back, and half the time they're not even taking the fight with them for these early fights.
Jeez.
It's IGL and IGL, and one of them's winning. That's a gamble and a half. I guess they're at a point of no return where 7's running through a snake bite to try and catch people off guard. It's not gone well. Alorante, there's just so many players appearing in front of his eyes that... yeah, I think CNEV might save.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you see a move and you think, ooh, that was a little bit of a bold maneuver. Yeah. That was a little bit risky, but I do understand here. It comes from not a place of calculation, but a place of desperation.
Yeah.
Nothing's working, for God's sake. Run through a snake bite, see if you can catch him off guard. When all the picks are going elsewhere, when the fight in main's being lost up against Rose, when, Christ, it seems like Rose is the next the next IGL duelist, perhaps.
The thing is, right, if you're only getting headshotted anyway, then if you're vulnerable, it doesn't matter.
Just buy shields.
Exactly. If you're vulnerable and slightly low from a snake bite, it doesn't matter because you're getting headshotted.
Exactly.
That's another end zone flawless, by the way. Not one that was specifically necessary for BBL. Their credits are through the roof, and they are 9-2 in the lead. You were asking the question throughout the majority of the half is, will 5 be enough or 6 be enough? I think 9 might be enough.
What about 10? How do you feel about that?
I'd say that's an even better number than 9. It's a good number.
I actually know I don't have the math. I can't show my workings on this, right? But I have a feeling that you actually have a better chance to win with 10 than with 9.
Well, Hunter's Fury, that's already a tag. Oh, there's no escape. Cupid, that's another battle versus Rose. Not a fair one, but he's lost it. That's already, the IGL started this game quite well, but it seems like his opponent has just started to level up and up and up. They're trying to deal with Rose, and they have 2 quick kills back, the double. Hello, Loiter. I think he just got so used to being able to run around the map and nobody killing him that he just forgot that he had to shoot his gun.
Kind of actually looked like what I just
Rose, you haven't killed 4 already.
It's the same towards A main. 2 players go out, took in those corners.
Oh, they've seen them.
And it seems a little bit disconnected from BBL. 9-2 up, getting a little bit cocky, feeling it. Yeah. They've been punished. Okay, sure. But a 9-3 scoreline ain't going to be the end of the world. They don't have their big clutcher online for BBL, so without Rose, I think that this should be Pacific.
They've only got Lovers Rock and Kraven, and you know, Lovers Rock only like top frag the Ascension Grand Finals, so washed.
30 seconds left.
Lovers Rock has also been revealed, so for Ninja, he's not been having a great time, but it's... Did he fall asleep at the wheel? He must have thought that was a clone.
He is. Oh, yeah. Oh, the sidestepping clone, Tom.
I don't know what he thought, but why did he just stand there like he's disconnected in real life? How did he go? Oh, this is possible. This is possible. That's a clone. And then there you go. 7's managed to get past, TP it in. An opportunity, but 7 will close out the round. It got a little bit messy. It got a little bit shaky, but they managed to get to 3. 9-3 curses on. Mitch, are you ready for the comeback?
He's out here to give me a heart attack, Tom. I don't know what that TP was. I'm so ready for a comeback, though. Defensive side. Oh, it wasn't too kind to Pacific, but now we're talking about double dive, double smokes. It's a different idea. Let's see if it works after the break.
One enemy remaining.
Time to jump. Your body knows a sense of victory. seized when mind, movement, and gear ignite as one. Now, step into your zone. Designed to win.
Amazon delivery वाला इतने लेट हेलो अच्छा हाँ एक मिनट 893851 हाँ हाँ हो गया हाँ 51.
Well, after the halftime break, it's time to get back into the game anytime now. For Pacific, 3 rounds on the board, a really tough defensive side, and it felt like BBL came out of the gate swinging, looking for nothing but those jaw hits and landing every single one. Pacific stumbling and crumbling, but now they're on the attack. Double dive and a new idea with these smokes, not coming in with Viper, but having Astra, having the Omen as well. It gives them a lot more flexibility for Cooper to try to lead this team. But the problem is Rose on the other side has been leading by example.
These are not the stats for now. I know it says it on the screen, but just in case anybody was like, 158 ACS, wasn't he carrying? Was he just hitting them for one? And no, those are the stats from last year. But yeah, Rose is not normally the guy that takes you through the games with a 16-5 scoreline, as you can see from those stats. But he's having a worldie of a game. Now I want to look at Cupid for a different reason. His calling here is going to be important. He can lead cutting through in terms of the calls. He can let them know where they're going. He can set up the ideas and hopefully start things off well.
Well, there's Rose in the ground already. Alorante with another Pacific 2 opening picks. Time to group up, take a site, avoid giving BBL those individual duels because it can be a slippery slope, especially on a pistol. With Ghosts on the other side for Loida and Lover's Rock and challenge round in that corner. Loida able to at least deal some damage. Set Lover's Rock up for a fight, but nothing's going their way on BBL.
देखा तूने कब देखा?
Rock only able to get one.
देखा
You don't even have to necessarily push this way, especially with Alorante already clearing those back lines. Timing's not great, but Preben clearly not expecting anybody to be there. Not ready for the fight. It will now leave Loiter in a 1v4 scenario, and CNED is waiting patiently. Does he check? Does he check? But he's not checking.
कुछ नहीं, अरे वो ये था ना उसका रिवर का करम्बिट, वेस्ट करम्बिट.
He's missed you, Cole. He deserves CNED. Oh, no one's gonna clip that. No one's clipping that. Oh dear. Oh dear.
9-4 भाई crazy
at least he's got a smile on his face.
वो bandit घुमा रहा है.
They won the round.
नहीं,
so it's okay.
Okay.
We've seen West Ham.
That made me so happy, Tom. Get exactly what you deserve. Oh my goodness.
It genuinely is. It's like the new kid coming back to the league.
Match point का दिया, लेकिन ये नहीं कर रखा. हवा में कर रखा है. Touch नहीं करता उसे.
Careful, Thinky. You might go back off the chair if you swing it harder.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
That's a little bit of
को इतना सूट करेगा ये.
Energy injection for Pacific. A 4th round found now as well, and it's time to keep on adding those up. For BBL, left with classics. This should be where Pacific, correct me if I'm wrong, for the first time chained together a round. It's just been one here or there so far, if I'm not mistaken.
Kind of hope you're wrong, but I think you might be right.
I think I'm spot on. Good chance for them to correct how things have gone, I think, so far.
Hey, if not, it's a great advertisement for the BBL bundle. That's all I'll say, because there are only classics invested. There is nothing else. So realistically, you should be correct.
That's a really nice skin. I like that.
I'm always a fan of purple and gold. It's just it's a banger combo. We have not been paid by BBL to say that.
Banger combo.
What should we have?
You know what? They have my number, so I have their jersey. This is I'm not sure I like this. See, guys walking in with an outlaw in hand into the middle of sight, so he's surrounded by the maximum number of angles. But that means the maximum number of orbs for him to acquire.
He's just flexing on him.
It makes sense. That was a really risky entry to sight, solo through mid, but fair enough.
You know, he's like it's like Michael Jordan in his later years. You got to show these kids who's boss. Like he's the Michael Jordan of Turkish Valley.
I don't know anything about basketball, but I'm sure that makes a lot of sense.
Michael Jordan's very good.
I know that. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, very good.
Very good.
That's all I know.
That's all I need.
Do you think it's Scottie Pippen?
Cool shoes. Mate, his free throws. Is he also a basketball player?
Yeah. No, I didn't just name another sport.
I thought you might have been catching me off.
Maybe. Yeah. It's not the papaya all over again. When you said you're a big McLaren.
Not very well versed. If it's not played on a computer, I don't know what's happening. Tends to be how it works. And half the time I don't know what's happening on the computer.
Or unless it's an Irish sport. That is one hell of a start. CNED tried to knife him, so he's just wrecked him through a wall and through a smoke at the beginning of the round. Showing Unk who's boss. I like how Unk is only like 24 as well. Either way. Trying to put some pressure onto the players on the side, but this crossfire of Lorok and Loiter is a fearsome one to try and deal with. Loiter taking the majority of contact. Know that he is here. That doesn't matter though. This is the youngsters we were talking about. How has he not died? He was in his drone. That's the Rose that we normally see. Rose in his drone gets swung, still survive because some 18-year-old has shot him in the head.
Yeah, that was remarkable stuff for BBL, and I think compounding on what we talked about earlier. Oh no, bro. When he's laughing like that, when he's screaming across the stage.
Laugh. That's outrageous.
Oh, it's got to feel bad to sit across from that. So Pacific, they managed to chain 2 in a row. And that's where the streak ended. Now for BBL.
He's doing the same spam right through the box every round.
You'll see him at the start of last round. Yeah, I'll do that spam every time I play this map now. A nice little early opening. So it looks like Pacific, like they're going back to just mid control. Fighting those choke points isn't working towards B main, or towards A main, sorry. And B's never going to be a fun one. That mid split, it worked out. They got a lot of control. CNED was able to walk into the site, but this time there's an off white before the
this is where Lover's Rock is really hard to deal with. He's good at sort of taking those initial fights, and as you can see, immediately falling back. He has no level of greed to his gameplay, which as a Yoru player is the most irritating thing to fight against, because he's just going to keep repositioning every time he fires a shot. On the other side of things, they are at least going to be able to get some space in towards that site. Hunter's Fury being utilized, but as of yet hasn't connected, and now the full force of this defense has started to take back control.
Oh, the jump up from Cupid's good. He hasn't managed to spot Rose tucked in on that corner. And Rose strikes now, dropping Ninja. Heck, a bit of damage to Cupid as well. The 2 versus 3. Pacific, no plant found just yet. And as they attempt it, it'll be forcing it 1vx. It's not going to be an easy duel. And as time ticks on, that flank is coming through from Loida. The more challenging 3K from Cupid, but the spike needs to be planted, and now it's on the floor. 10 seconds, and no one to cover as the plan's coming in. Alorante has to be lucky to avoid the spams. He's on 19 HP, but still alive. Given a chance, losing here, it sends BBL straight to the home stretch. A chance to close out this map and start the series off with confidence. But a few well-placed shots. Goodbye, Pacific. A much-needed chance. It all comes down to the timing. Lloyd is just about to round that corner. Alorante needs to be quick, but Lloyd gets there first.
Difficult clutch to win with the amount of damage that was already taken, and the quick rotations from BBL made it almost impossible. The thing that was a little bit peculiar though was it feels like the 2 players on site knew the Rose was in that corner. They were literally spamming that wall, and then Ninja walks out main completely unaware. That's the bit that threw me off. It does feel like maybe there's just a piece or two missing in terms of communication, because I feel like that was a free kill for him. If the guy spamming the wall goes, I think he's behind the wall I'm spamming.
Yeah, I think the only problem is, so Rose ran through the smoke, right after the Hunter's Fury came through. Got a kill. And then when Cooper jumps up and doesn't see him, it's like, to us, it's clear. He's obviously in that
No, but I mean, straight after that, they're spamming the wall and hitting Rose for 70. Like, he takes a lot of damage in that corner. So that was after he jumped up. He jumped back down and went, he's in this corner. So someone thought he was there. Otherwise, that's an insane.
Or it is, I mean, it could be just intuition, I suppose. But yeah, you give that little, there could be someone in the corner.
Yeah.
Get your teammate, eyes on it, instead of holding the smoke. Different game altogether. And here he is, Kraven. That's my boy down there. I love seeing this guy play. I feel like he's has actually been figured out quite a lot here.
That's why you like him, the last one.
And he knows how to play the game, but he also knows how to play the game in real life. Avoid those beats.
Broke his right arm twice. That couldn't be you, though. You're terrified of everything.
Yeah, I never get injured actually as well. So
that's a really good thing.
They call me Colossus from X-Men. Untouchable.
How's your shoulder?
Which one? Yeah, both. Better than ever. Yeah. But yeah, Kraven, I understand it, man. I don't like bees either. Stay away from.
I think you just don't like any bugs.
I like some bugs.
I've watched the ones that are gonna run into the road
or pinch me.
Oh, I think that's all bugs.
Then I don't like any bugs. Yeah. The teethless ones.
I like the friendly one.
Yeah,
maybe butterflies.
They're all right. Pacific, this is it. Credits put on the line. BBL set to take 12 if they win this. Kraven up close. The man we just highlighted, we heard from him. Now it's time to see him play the game, wrapping around through those smokes. Through the orb comes Kraven, dealing and dishing out death. But it's only the double.
Decent trade.
Pacific managed to trade this back and get a plant and get the Cosmic Divide up so they can fall back to main. They can get post-plant positions. That's a great recovery.
Right here.
That Divide has bought plenty of time for them to reposition as well, so any ideas that were there are gone. But that's a nice bait and switch. Alorente in the corner, not a lot of places he can go, but the crossfire, Ninja is well aware. It's left onto Loiter again, though. 18 and 8. He's moved to the top of the board on this defensive side. Has been fantastic in the clutch, but he looks the wrong way. This time, Ninja is well aware, and a big recovery round from him.
I think a big recovery half as well. Like, he was like 2 and 9, something like that, having a really, really rough game. And now he's got himself back up to sort of the bottom end of the scoreboard. He's playing a decent game. It means this half so far has been night and day compared to what we saw before. Working really well with Alorente there. I don't know what was happening to Alorente. He was trying to pop that smoke for a few seconds. I was getting worried. But he got it back in the end.
He's used to, he's used to the Cypher way. You can just look at the floor and step off. It's like a little bit easier.
11 to 6. Disaster averted, but another one on the horizon. BBL have bought up the op on Lover's Rock. A nightmare to deal with at the best of times.
He's pushing further and further down as well, knowing that he can just take that shot and get out of there. If there is anybody around there, and there you go. Look, immediately straight back to site. He's gone. Like, there's no way you can now hunt him down. That's so irritating. They're re-pushing it, though. Re-clearing it. In fact, even spotting the TP out, but Seven's got a freebie. And actually, again, Pacific have been able to turn this. Still got to deal with a couple of these players. Loiter up close, might not expect the player in main, but after a shot is missed. Oh, he's gone into the drone, but Alorente is covering, holding for his teammate. Now that operator rotates back into position. Rose once again, but it's left onto the op, and a mistake made with the spike down and a swing out. It will be 7 to close. A back and forth all the way through. But it is Pacific to win the round.
Considering how this started out with BBL looking incredibly dominant, that scoreline's going to start to get pretty concerning pretty soon. It's closing in. Pacific look like they found their mice. Players who were not hitting even the easy kills are now all of a sudden starting to play the game. Everyone's online. Hallucina's on the bottom of the board. The rest are doing something right.
जिसमें ये नहीं है क्या बोलते हैं finisher वगैरह नहीं है वो वापर रहे.
If they don't take a moment, they don't take a tactical break.
Cryostasis.
Reassess how these rounds
नहीं finisher है.
BBL so close.
वो animation वगैरह नहीं है ना.
Getting their map under their belt, but even at this stage, it won't be as dominant a victory as it looked like it would be. It's time to course correct before that victory becomes a loss.
Yeah, I think this is probably the right moment for it. Like, up until this point, as you said, they'd lost the pistol second round. This is the first time in the whole game they've lost 2 buy rounds in a row.
Rounds, yeah.
So there was never really anything for the coach to sort of take a moment and be like, oh, actually, I need to be swapping things up. It's just, okay, maybe they're a bit silly, maybe they're over-facing, but we're starting to see that their opponents are getting back into the game. And I like the fact that, as said, it doesn't seem like Pacific is shying away from a fight. I think they've done quite well of sort of catching the over-aggression. Like, after getting that opening kill, I do think Kreven's push was a little bit over-aggressive, and you start to see players almost hunting for 1v1s on the BBL side. Like, all of those back-and-forth trade kills were because someone went for a 1v1. You had Loiter try and run into main to fight the player who was using a drone, gets caught from mid. Like, they almost feel unaware of other angles that they could be open to because they're so fixated on getting the kills. And I think that might be something that the coach, Key, has just got to go, yeah, we need to stop doing that.
Well, back in, this is a round that still has some promise. I mean, even if you look at the weapons they have, but the fact that Laroc's popped the Blade Storm too, Pacific have to be cautious. And I love how cautious they're being. They know they're coming up against a mixed buy. They know there's a Blade Storm. And so they spread out. Play down to a minute 10 as a default. Not just a default, but a default on range. That's what they're avoiding. They're avoiding that flash that could come around any corner and have a Blade Storm follow it up, a free kill and a dash out. They don't want to give those chances, so they play outside of main. They play in their spawn practically.
And now they've heard that flash go off, they reclaim the space. They're going back in to basically face off a spot that their opponents have cleared. So it leaves Laroc on an island. Okay, there will be a TP across the map eventually that could help him out, but I don't think there's any way that he could really hold this down without just hitting clip of the day.
And it's this mid layer to it as well from Pacific that's going to be so difficult to deal with. CNET, not the weapon I'd want, the Outlaw deep in spawn like that, but he's going to have the task of cutting off those rotations. Again, just not the weapon for it. Let's see how much he can get done, but Alorante already finding one. CNET misses the shots, has to go to the pistol. Even lands a 140 onto Lover's Rock, but those shields keeping him alive. The thing is, though, retaking from here, even with the Outlaw in hand. 3 full shields on the other side, no easy fight. And Pacific, well, it's Alorante making it look easy, robbed of the ace, but his work is very much done. Pacific closing that gap into 3. But as we said, BBL, there was promise, there were chances, there were dangers. This is the buy, though.
It would have been nice to see Alorante, the German in the league, come in and get an ace on his debut. For the team and in VCT EMEA. It was very close. Loiter spoiled it, unfortunately, but he's definitely playing well. And that was the thing. Like, we know this guy for his sentinel play. He's definitely been like sort of flexing a bit here and there with the smokes as well. But there's always been one thing that isn't in question, which is that aim. He's always had that in his locker. And especially to show him versus BBL is a good sign, but it's whether or not they can bring this any further already. That is a huge combo, but Laroc managed to dodge it.
Alorante's here to pick up the pieces, though, as Loiter goes down. Robbed of the ace in the previous round, but Alorante's back for vengeance. He's taken down Kreven, but much more needed, as Alorante on 30 health has only got Cupid by his side, but now the A side taken. A nice shot onto Laroc, a sneaky play through, gets the plant in favor of Pacific. Lover's Rock. Just needs to find Cupid, and the second kill would be so easy, but what an uncomfortable angle to try to take this fight. But Cupid hiding inside that smoke, ships in the 90s, cross past him, and it's even Alorante to take the kill in the end, his 3rd of the round. Some big performances now, the past 2 from him, and that's put Pacific to a gap of 2. They are now hot on BBL's heels, and a team that looked set to take this flying colors now finds themselves under threat.
I definitely think you can see as well that the problems that are sort of there with dealing with all of these smokes. Like the amount of space that Cupid was able to get. Like Laroc was doing an incredible job. 3 kills off the back of just individual brilliance, but then Cupid's just stood in a spot he never expected. Like they are struggling versus this double controller on the attack side. And yeah, what we kind of expected to be a dominant victory. Maybe what even should have been a 10-2 half. Now, since then, they've managed just a couple of rounds. And in this one, at least, not a mass to play with again. You've got a solo rifle picked up, a bandit put into the hands of Loiter. He's one away from having his ultimate online, which would definitely help out a little bit with the spam. It's looking like a B site execute here. The worry is if a singular kill goes Loiter's way, he could put that Viper's Pit into play, but that's a lot of ifs and buts.
He's got the right weapon for it. The bandit up close, snakebite in, player on him, the fire rate's good, but CNED just about survives until Ninja has something to say about it. Dropping his teammate. But look what BBL have to work with.
Yeah.
Hunter's Fury that's not going to be committed. I mean, unless they've lost their damn mind. They need some pig. The Hunter's Fury's in! They've sent it! Rose is a madman and he's found his kill! The Hunter's Fury lands! Larocque's flank finds one, no, two! And now 7! Mere moments later! This all alone! The wall's closing in on him and it's a crunch from Rose to put BBL up to 12! A ludicrous commitment with what they had, a man disadvantage, weaponry not in their favor. And he throws the Hunter's Fury through. It makes all the difference.
That's situational brilliance from Rose, honestly. That is him realizing, okay, Larocque is behind. Larocque has the rifle. If he just walks in, they're going to be ready. They're going to be watching that angle. There's going to be so much left that has to be disrupted. I throw in a Hunter's Fury. I displace 1 or 2 people. He maybe gets a freebie. He maybe gets an individual fight. The fact that Rose got a kill is just a little bit of luck that I think goes a long way. 100%. But then the fact that you saw the player on site on the pillar was not looking in any direction. They were just trying to dodge the ult. That's a free kill. And obviously then the second one is just Larocque being Larocque.
Now 3 chances to close this out. Rose he's brought the Odin in. It's a dirty tactic, but we love to see it in play. But the B site is still the target. Even with that Viper's Pit up, the decision from Pacific is to wrap around. Already, though, CNED's going to be caught by the trip, giving away the play. The cage blocks sight, makes this very uncomfortable for them to get anywhere near the site. Kraven in danger of the spams after the reveal. Lover's Rock hiding in that corner as well. They've dropped Kraven, but they don't know about this snake in the grass. And Lover's Rock strikes for one. Loida for another, keeping the numbers even. And with 7 tagged low, this could very easily be another BBL round, be the last BBL round of the map for Pacific. Back up against the wall, and the plant still needs to be found.
They still have both controllers standing. That might give them an opportunity to at least create a little bit of additional space. And all 3 players coming in from the same angle on that defensive side. No flank this time to worry about. But there is a wraparound coming in on the attack. A double sort of layer, the pressure all being put onto Alorante, but the cross is being held. It's being watched for, though. They're ready for that mid-pick. Alorante on the site has done well. Already clearing out one. Instant headshot on the second, and now Rose, well, an Odin clutch will be the cherry on top of the cake, but he's not even going to go for it. Saving the gun. A solid post-plant once again from Pacific. And they have brought things back to just 2 rounds. OT is definitely possible.
A really remarkable recovery from how this game started, where it did very much like
it should have been over 15 minutes ago.
100%. The start of this game looked like a tier 1 team playing a tier 2 team. That's what I would expect to see.
It depends which tier 2 team you're talking about.
That's true. That's true. And for BBL, a timeout called. Their tactical break, their second now being used up. They're all out. With 2 chances to close this out. They're luckily not out of luck just yet. But it is getting dangerous. And we're seeing the promise of Pacific on the other side. Again, a lot of talk, a lot of hype about a man like 7. We know that CNED's a man worthy of the hype that he's had in the past, albeit Turkish Jet has been, we're waiting for the prodigal son to return to that role for quite a while. At least he's not on smokes. But
not on smokes yet, it's only map 1.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Although they have 2 others playing smokes in this game.
Yeah,
so.
Cubert's an Omen boy through and through. So unless Alorante wants to swap over, which hell with the aim he's had so far.
Yeah, but I think Alorante has that on anything. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you put him on.
But we are seeing that promise of Pacific. That formula really starting to heat up, and that is a team as well. I think it's a worthwhile conversation. I expect BBL to come in and be good from day 1. I know that they are. I expect Pacific to be a team that, hey, maybe for stage 1, for stage 2, they could be a contender. But I think that anyone in their position should need time Yeah, hey, listen, good recovery already. Let's see how much more they've got in the tank.
Well, we've seen it before where a team comes in. I think BBL was a great example last year where a lot of it is people looking to make a comeback or maybe being one of the last people to be picked up overall. Like, this team was literally announced yesterday.
Yeah.
Which, come on, Pacific. You've known who you had a little bit longer than that. But, yeah, to see them already looking this good versus a team we expected to absolutely batter them is a good sign going forward. It's whether or not they can now go that little bit further. Can they take this to OT? Can they take their opponent's map choice and show a truly impressive attack side?
You know, very much shake up the meta as well in terms of the comp they're bringing to it. I like what we've seen from Pacific so far, but 2 more in a row. No room for error anymore, and they're moving towards the A site. Cupid sending it out towards B. I don't know if this is going to be a fake, a use of the paranoia, or if he's just clearing that space that BBL have been keen to take in the past. Cam broken, it's all making noise, but if he goes out there without his weapon drawn, it could be an easy pick for Lover's Rock. The op misses him, and now the play towards A, but it's being read by BBL. 4 players in position, ready for this blitz. BBL, they've outthought them. All they have to do now is land those shots, and one after another go in their favor.
Patience might just pay off. Rock in the corner. He should have been a dead man for quite a while, but he's going to survive the round. It is an Inzo flawless to close. It took BBL quite a bit longer than expected to get that one over the line, but the fact is, they got it over the line.
Yeah, I think a big difference in the end is Lover's Rock taking so much aggression on that defensive side, so much space for the squad, punishing Pacific as they go back in, or if they go somewhere else, getting his teammates all that information, so there can be a 4-man stack on the other side of the map. BBL, they've won out on their map pick, but it wasn't quite as easy as it seemed like it would be. Now, Abyss, the map pick of Pacific as they look to bounce back. We'll see if BBL can close it 2-0 after the break.
Let's go. Bye bye guys.